Yo, welcome to day one. For day one, I'm going to start with a song. Welcome to the group, by the way. If you're new, I'm just going to introduce you to myself if you've never heard me before. Ready? All right, put myself out there, yo. When they tell you let it go, you can try with all your might. The problem's that your nervous system's still in fight or flight. The stress ain't gone, it's still in plain sight. You gotta find a way to turn around the fight. My name is Dr. Nima, adjusting spines is my game. Now I'm spitting lyrics, to me it's all the same. Correcting your structure, improving what you eat. Dissolving your stress by adjusting your beliefs. I wasn't born a rapper, but I'm a rapper at heart. It connects me to my young and my playful part. I'm in my mid-40s, is that too late to start? What I'm lacking in my rap technique, I make up for with heart. The dancing, the rhymes, healing spines and minds. Combining everything you love makes you feel fine. So don't hold back if there's a song you need to sing. And dance like you don't care who's watching. I said pills don't teach skills. You gotta look inside if you wanna find the answer to your ills. Pills don't teach skills. Covering the truth in exchange for your dollar bill. I said pills don't teach skills. You gotta look inside if you wanna find the answer to your ills. Pills don't teach skills. Covering the truth in exchange for your dollar bills. Thank you. Where's the applause? Oh, shit, I'm in quarantine. I can't hear anything. What's up? What's up? Let me just get my shit together. It's good to see you. Good to see you jumping on here. Welcome to day one. I just wanted to start with a little song for those of you who need a little bit of levity with everything that's happening around us. I thought, what better way to begin this journey together while I'm in quarantine? And some of you have voluntarily done it as well. It's not because I'm sick. I feel great. I just, flattening the curve. And so you're here because, let's face it, there's a lot going on around us and it doesn't feel safe anymore. It doesn't feel like the world that we're living in is like, what happened? Is this all just a bad dream? And sometimes it feels that way. But there's a quote that I wanted to give you and to remind you of. I forget who it was. I'd love for somebody to look it up. But it says that in times of change, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that does not exist. Let me say that again. In times of change, the learners will inherit the earth, while the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that does not exist. And fact is, the world that we had 2-3 months ago is not the same. This is basically, it's like planet Earth back there is going through its own hero's journey right now. There's a different world there. That is a completely different world. And if you look at things in life that we have come across, these big momentous things that the collective, nervous systems of humanity were able to look at it, like the JFK assassination, 9/11, like that everyone in the world was impacted by this kind of news. Fact is, we're there now. And things are not the same and people are freaking out. My pregnant girlfriend, Diana, who's in this group as well. Say hello, Diana, if you can say hi. And she hates the attention. She's like me. She basically was trying to get food yesterday and took pictures of the shelves and is like, everybody's freaking out. It's getting worse. And I'm like, I totally see that. And so to help you regulate your nervous system, I'm going to deliver content that here's my promise, that by coming here in this group and participating and engaging, you will leave a more connected version of yourself. You will leave a more grounded version of yourself, rather than the other groups that you can be a part of or other content that has you go a little bit mental. If you've noticed, that's what'll happen depending on what you read. Please get that. There's a mind-body connection here, and we're going to be learning how to master this. My job as your teacher is to help you master that mind-body connection, because that's what's happening right now. Is whether you're aware, and most of it's unconscious, is your mind-body connection is now becoming assaulted by what's happening outside of you. And if you don't learn these tools, the outside world will basically cause you to crumble and panic and act in such inhumane ways, which, truth be told, it's humanity. It's the shadow side of humanity. And the shadow egoic part of humanity comes out when our nervous systems are dysregulated. So I really want to commend you for being here and recognizing the fact that the only thing that you can control with all of these, conspiracy theories going on, that this is, Bill Gates is doing this for overpopulation and it's all part of the plan. And okay, fine. Assuming that that's true, now what? What are you going to do about it? Okay, so what? Keep spreading all of this stuff? So I'm not saying that there aren't shady characters with the Fed organizations. I'm saying that every organization has a shadow. End of discussion. And the Fed and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Apple and me and, the convenience store down the street or the liquor store on the other side of the corner, we all have a shadow side. So let's just embrace that. And instead of trying to promote all of those other ideas which create an internal disruption, why don't we just focus on the one thing that we can control? How are you breathing right now? I want you to touch your hand to your chest and just notice your breath. Notice the life that's moving through you right now. Notice that you're on a floating spaceship. I have a little reminder every day that I look at. Well, when I'm here, I'm hardly here. Just observe yourself from this perspective. You're in the moon right now, and you're looking at you right now. This is what I call the overview kind of awareness. This is what my clients, many of you are clients already in my programs. This is just kind of like an added way to support you guys. But I just said, hey, this is not just for my paying clients. I want to give this free to everybody because, it's like having the insulin, for type 1 diabetes, having the recipe and saying, no, I don't want to, it's for paying customers only. No, this is for everybody. This is for everybody. And I believe that this is the kind of remedy. This is the remedy for what's going on right there. It's not to keep spreading a bunch of stories and conspiracy theories, although I'm not saying there's not shadiness going on. I'm saying me putting my energy and attention towards that doesn't help what's going on in here. Because what's the most important thing? What's going on in here? It's the most important thing. If we continuously bring the collective back to that, the chances of all of this, chaos, which is all happening because of people who are disconnected from here. I know I've spent most of my life disconnected from there. And I really want you to understand that what you're going through right now, this mass hysteria and disconnection, is bringing up and exposing your disconnection. That's it. All that's happening around us is exposing what's not yet healed within us. Ooh, that was good. If somebody could write that down. Somebody could write that down. All that's happening that's around us is exposing what's incomplete within us, or what's not healed within us. Because if we took the time to heal it, which is really what my concern is right now for you, is taking a pause in all of this time for your healing. It's like an emotional yoga class that we're going to do every day. And you're going to participate. And just by being engaged in the conversation, take a notice of your nervous system. Your nervous system will start to regulate just by being in this conversation. That's my promise to you with every single piece of content that I put out. And to do it, I must regulate myself first and make sure that my nervous system tone, because there's energy coming from all of us, you know, the tension so thick you can feel it when you walk into a room. That's the energy, that's the feelings, the energetic vibrations, if I can, you know, not sound too woo about it, that we're all giving off. The question you want to be asking yourself right now, the most important question, regardless of all the crazy that's going on, pausing into breath and asking, what am I putting into my field in this moment? Currently in this moment, what I'm putting into my field, because I chose to put this into my field, is a space of contribution, is a space of deep love, first for myself and my journey that brought me here. The wounding, the toxic relationships, the mistakes that I've made, the infidelity, the abuse, the trauma, all of that stuff, that journey that brought me here, first, I'm connected with it in a felt sense way in my body, and I'm grateful for it. So I am now connected to what I'm called to do. And in this moment, I feel an overflow of contribution that I'm giving. And if you're paying attention, you probably can feel it. In fact, the stuff that I'm about to teach you, this is what we teach our clients, is if you really get this right and you shift and alter your nervous system, the people that live with you, the people that work with you, will be able to feel a difference in you. This is what our clients always say. They say, wow, my coworkers are like, you've changed. And all that's changed is your nervous system tone. Please understand your nervous system tone, okay, is literally a magnet for what's coming at you. So it becomes super duper important for me to pay attention to my nervous system tone so that I can have a world outside of me reflect back to me what's going on inside. Think of your relationships that you've gotten into, if they've been toxic relationships, and you're looking back and going, oh, I should have never been with that guy, or I should have never, or I could easily look back and go, I should have never dated that girl. But that person was an exact resonant match for your nervous system tone at the time that you first dated. That's why there was a polarizing magnetic attraction. The first step that we teach our clients to when they're going through their relationship crises is to go back and own that. And that's where the work is, to heal those wounds. So the work we're going to do together is, first and foremost, is the recognition that this lack of safety that you're feeling in your body is because of a nervous system that's been overloaded for a while. And it's kind of like, I want you to imagine a balloon that's been like overloaded, and now it's already overloaded. And now we put it into an environment which now the stress is now expanded. It's like, boom, even more. It's like, it's now exposing what's already not healed within us. I want you to first get that. So what do you do during these turbulent times? What do I do during this crisis? Well, it's the same thing as when you're going through a divorce. We support many people who are going through divorces. There's a shit ton of unknowns. There's a shit ton of like attacks from all sides. So how do you cope with that? Well, what you do is same thing as we're going to do here together. Same thing. We're going to first and foremost, number one, total acceptance of what is. I want you to now be okay with the fact that the world, kind of like 9/11, the world that we went back to after 9/11 was not the same. Things changed at airports. Things changed when I crossed the border. You know, I look like a terrorist, obviously. So when I go from Canada to the United States, It's like, holy shit, I got a, body cavity search this time, So things changed. And the only way through is just really I want you to take a deep breath right now. Surrender the exhale, putting your hand on your chest, and just acknowledge and total acceptance of that. Why is that important? Well, because it makes you resourceful for being able to see what's available now. And I had to go through that. I went through a period where I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a pregnant girlfriend at home. I have all these events lined up. No. Let's see how I can get around it. Notice yourself trying to control everything. Just notice, be an observer. Observe yourself from overview. You're watching yourself acting, your behavior on that planet right now is that of trying to control. And what I'm trying to get you to do is everything that I'm teaching is what I need the most. I'm literally in quarantine in my home with my girlfriend back in Victoria, who's pregnant and giving me updates. And now she has a baby bump. And so I'm watching that and I'm like, oh, so it makes it super duper important for us to drop into ourselves and become more centered. And that journey where we helping people through breakups, the first thing we do is we have to create a vision for ourselves. Because right now in the chaos, when your hormones of stress are firing, the first thing that happens is a disconnection from yourself into those past wounds that are not yet healed that we talked about. And that younger version of you is now wanting mommy or daddy to save them or fix them. And what we're getting you to do is to take responsibility for being the one that rescues and saves them. That's really the only way through. Because when you dedicate yourself to this, take the opportunity now to do this, on the other side of doing that, you get to feel connected to your purpose. You get a firm clarity on where you're going next, because this inner guidance, always, all of us that you've been disconnected from for so long, now starts to emerge. And you're like, oh, make a Facebook group for everybody and teach them everything you're teaching all of your other clients, day in, like group calls and, one-on-one sessions. Just give it away and just teach them this. So what we teach them is, what's your vision? So what I'm going to get you to do in the comment section or in the group, you're going to create a vision for yourself. This is your opportunity when there's no certainty, but I don't know who I am. Great, good. Let's start with a vision. What is your vision for after this epidemic is going? For me, you know what that vision is? That vision is an army of people who've now discovered the secret to life, which is learning how to manage your own triggers, becoming trigger proof, so that they can now become leaders in their families and break the cycle of intergenerational trauma that didn't start with you. Because if you can do the and, all of a sudden, because the secret is now gone out, because it's so important and it is the next wave of the future, believe me, it's not about disease management. It's about going upstream and helping people with their unresolved traumas and unhealed wounds, which kind of like a knee injury wound will impact how you climb, hike mountains in your 30s and 40s. Those young wounds will do that if left unhealed. Your emotional wounds from trauma, from relationship breakdowns that you haven't fully processed and healed because it's too painful to look at, they are actually impacting unconsciously all of your relationships, creating all sorts of chaos and crisis. So what's the solution? I'm going to give you everything that I've been giving my clients. And the first step is creating a vision for yourself. So I'm going to invite you to do this. This is the first exercise of today's day one of my self-quarantine. I've done it a couple days, but it took me a while to get all this stuff together. What's your vision? What's your vision? I told you my vision. My vision is an army of people who are like, oh my God, I am going to make healing myself a full-time job so that I can then become a leader for my company, so I can become a leader for my tribe of people, for my family, so that I can break the cycle of intergenerational trauma. That's the vision that I have. And doing these workshops, the overview experience, literally like a tour date of place of cities that people are like, oh my gosh, like I have to learn how to do that. That's my vision. I have to learn how to do that. How did you do that? How did you take a crisis and actually come out stronger as a result? I need to do that because life is full of these crises. You're going to hit one in your mid-40s. You're going to have an identity crisis. You're going to be like, what the hell? And you're going to be like, I got to go back to doing this anyway. You can't avoid this work. This is like the collective humanity force. Like, it's like there's an energy of transformation that's been bubbling all this time, of conscious awakening. This is it. This is our time. This is our time for healing those wounds. This is our time for spiritual development. This is our time to spend time with families. This is our time to write that book. This is our time to get creative. Now it's it. This is it. All of these things you've been wanting to do, these things you've been putting off, it's like the universe saying, all right, mofo, boom, mic drop. It's time for you to step up. Welcome. You're in the right conversation, because right now, involving yourself in this level of conversation is doing your nervous system a lot of good, okay? Because it's the difference between distress and eustress. How you're gonna win this game, and this is a secret, by the way, I want you to invite as many people into this group, the people that you care about, because this is where the awakening happens. It's through breakdowns. We see this with our clients. They had a breakdown in their relationship, breakdown, oh, boom, after they start working with us, boom, they get fired. Ah, good. This is it. This is your chance. But no, I don't want to. Yes, yes, it's time to step up. Yes, this is part of it. This is it. So here, check this out. Here's how you're going to win. Please write this down. Make notes of this. There's two types of stress. There's distress, which is, oh my God, everything that's happening is in my way. It's in the way, and this is how most humanity on that planet right now is living under that, okay? Which is a huge opportunity for you. Everybody on that planet is under a global mass panic, and they need you. They're in distress. Now, there's a different type of stress called eustress. Eustress, EU, stress, means whatever is in my path is actually on the way. When you go do a workout in the gym, you're climbing, it's stressful, but it's one you're voluntarily taking on. When you voluntarily take on that stress, as though the stress is actually on my way, you become stronger. This is the secret that we help people when they're going through career transformation or relationship limbo. We basically go, look, I can't, it's not to save your marriage or not, like, let's get you stronger and more resourced, and then the answer will already come. And there will be breakdowns for you to actually adapt to. Yeah, that's part of the game. It's exactly part of the game. You can't have a breakthrough without a breakdown first. Usually they happen. You can, but usually the most profound breakthroughs happen on the other side of your breakdowns. Amazing breakthroughs happen on the other side of your breakdowns. So commit to a vision now. That's where we're going to begin together. And I want you to write the vision in the group. In the group, talk about the vision of what you would love to create for yourself as a result of all of this. Uncertainty, but I'm not certain, Nima. We don't know what's exactly. This is the best time to break the habit, as Joe Dispenza would say, of being your old self. Because that old self is no longer, the world that you're returning back to is not, it's not going to be the same. So how exciting is that? So now I want you to get really crystal clear with a vivid vision. What is it that you, oh, can you hear me? Oh, we're back? Okay. I want you to get super duper crystal clear with a vivid vision. What is it that you have envisioned for yourself? I have a baby on the way. Every time I feel myself being pulled into the circumstances, I then use that as a trigger for myself to go back into the vision of what I want for my baby, for my wife, to have this amazing this is a really cool vision, facilitators for my methodology all around the world coming and joining, and my baby and my partner are actually a part of the whole tribe. In fact, everything that I learn about nervous system regulation, I'm able to pass on to this child and make sure that he grows feeling seen, heard. I say he, that's kind of like my little fantasy. It's going to be a boy, but if it's a girl, I'm happy, just as happy, sort of. Truth. I'll be able to make sure that he grows up feeling fully prepared, self-confident, and resourced. That's really my number one vision. Okay, and boom, I go back into that. I get it into my body, which we're going to teach you to do throughout this process. And you're going to come out on the other side really with a clear path, a deeper knowing. That's really what I'd love. But the biggest obstacle in the way is your past, your unresolved past, and no tools to be able to resource it. Now, in tomorrow's edition, we're going to be talking about that more, about what this is bringing up for you. But I want to keep it very simple, connect with you, have some amazing content that has you feeling like intentional with your life rather than kicking off, like most humanity in the state of panic. So what's your vision? I want you to write down what your vision is. Share it with us. This is your community. Be seen, be heard. Take that fear and step out and share it with us. And the last part is, I want you to get creative. I just did a song for y'all. If you haven't seen it, go back to the beginning. I just did my little Pills Don't Teach Skills rap. You got to come up with something. So the other homework is for you to write a poem, a piece of writing. If you're an artist, paint something that kind of allows you to integrate and process the emotions that you're going through right now. It's very cathartic. It's very healing. Some of you are dancers and singers. Post videos of you dancing. Post videos of you singing. Like seriously, like let's get over our fear of being seen and create a safe space for community, because social media doesn't have to be a waste of your mindset. If you follow content that is inspiring to you, that keeps you grounded, it can be very, very awakening for you. Now, the other part that I want to share is start limiting yourself or completely like cutting out all content that isn't connected to that vision. That's the last part I wanted to remind you. Hold the vividness of your vision of who you are through this process, who you'd love to be, and you want to not consume any content or conversations that are contrary to that. Can you do that? That's your homework. And posting something useful, or not useful, just creative, I'd love to see. Are there any questions? It's good to have you. Wow, there's been trust my instincts, be confident. There's a lot of sharing. So write me again and again, breakthrough after my breakdown. Vision is to no longer hold back telling the chiropractic story to my community and new patients. Way to go, Jen. Teach them how powerful their body is and what they're capable of. Absolutely. Way to go, sister. Renata, I'm glad you took that on. Totally. Yes, Renata, absolutely. I want to remind you as well, no names or whatever, but the things that you kind of shy away from healing, you're unconsciously passing to your son. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. I'm not trying to make you feel whatever. I just want to tell you what's at stake here. This is the opportunity for us to heal those old wounding. This is it, because our children's well-being, it hangs in the balance. This has been ancestral kind of intergenerational trauma that didn't start with you. Not your fault, not your mom and dad's fault, didn't start with you. It's complete unconsciousness. In fact, James Hollis says the first half of life is a giant mistake. It's basically you're living life like a sleepwalker, and then the benefit of a major collapse, divorce, is an awakening. Well, guess what? The collective humanity is going through a big awakening right now, a wake-up call. Quite frankly, we needed it. And like I said in the quote earlier on, in times of change, the learners will inherit the earth, while the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped for a world that does not exist. So I'm going to post some content for you to watch. One of my episodes of my you trigger-proof show, I'll post it. I put up a little video as well of my little guru skit. Thought it was funny. Anything we can do for laughter gets us into our body, but in the meantime, what I'd like for you to do is to have clarity with your vision. Okay, good job. Your vision, Christina, I see yours is to heal the parts of me that are needing healing, to save the little me and to come out of this better, and to be able to set an example for others, to be light. Awesome, Christina. I'm so glad. And it's good to have you, hun. Yeah. You can't just hear me. Okay, cool. Jen, you clapped. I'm so glad that you did. I'm just looking at all your comments right now. Awesome, awesome. Amanda, your vision is to find balance between helping others, yet keep yourself healthy. So Amanda, it sounds to me like you have a boundary thing that you got to work through, which I totally get. We teach our clients about that all the time, is to be able to be there for yourself, but really hold your little one as a priority first. I totally get it. So thanks for your contribution, Tamara. Your vision, thank you for sharing, is to create and really put into practice new, healthy, aligned habits for myself. Okay, perfect. So that's the end of this kind of lesson or kind of practice that I'm giving you. Create a really strong vision for yourself through this. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be for the world? Okay. What are the old stories? I can't turn my coaching hat off. What are the old stories that are stopping you from actually doing it? So this is a giant wake-up call. Wake up, people. Welcome to the wake-up game. And I hope you take this to heart and start the practice. Again, send as many people. I want you to think of 5 people that you know that really need to start practicing this stuff, people you care about, and ask them to join the group. And let's do this together. Let's create this together. I'd love for you to share, what came up for you in this conversation, what was present for you. Sharing is really important. And put in something creative, okay? Post something creative in the group, and we'll see you later on. So what I'm gonna do, it's now 11:36 a.m. Pacific time here. I will be back at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is in the middle of the night for you if you're in Europe. It's in the kind of morning, afternoon, just late morning for those of you in Australia and New Zealand. And it'll be nice in the evening, like 10 p.m. for you in like Eastern time in North America. And I'm gonna be doing a Q&A. Okay, I'm gonna jump on again and think of questions that you have, and I'm gonna jump on and I'm gonna serve you with some Q&A. Those of you who are already clients, this is, stuff that you already know, but kind of a little bit of a nudge. Let's get you reconnected to that and stop listening and paying attention to anything else that isn't in alignment with that vision. That's it. That's the secret to handling a crisis. So we're doing it all together. And breathing. How often can you reconnect to your breath? I have to do that constantly, 10, 20 times. And asking the question that my good friend Dr. Russ introduced me to is, am I safe in this moment? Pretty safe in this moment. In fact, I want to show you, it's actually a beautiful moment. Look at how gorgeous, I don't know if you can see, look at how gorgeous it is in Vancouver. It is absolutely beautiful here. And can you pause and keep connected to your breath? Look around you and notice what you're grateful for. I'm grateful I have a community of people to serve while I'm bored and quarantined. I'm grateful I have a baby on the way. Dreams came true with probably the most incredible human around. Diana, I'm gonna tag you here so that she can be embarrassed. She hates the attention like me. There you go. I just tagged her, so you can just kind of send her a little congrat. She's like, why are all these people friending me. All of your clients are like, oh, she's like the opposite of me. She's like social media stays away. She's like my yin and yang. And she's like, why are all your clients friend requesting me? Isn't this weird? She's so like my opposite, thank God. She's nothing like me. So what are you grateful for? I want you to post right now. And who are you doing this work for? This is the last question I want to ask you. Who are you doing this work for? Put their names down right there in the chat box right now. Put their names. Who are you dedicating yourself to this work for? Who are you working on healing yourself for? Who benefits? A rising tide lifts all boats. Put their names right down there in the comment section. Olivia, absolutely. Yes, write their names down. Write the names down of the people that you're doing this for. Who are you dedicating yourself to this practice for? We're going to end it with 3 really deep breaths. Why? Let me just remind you. When you're breathing, if you can expand your chest, you'll notice during these times, your breath is not very big and expansive. In fact, if you've been stressed, your intercostal muscles are really clamped up and tense. Make sure you're getting adjusted if they're open, or I don't know if you're quarantining. Don't quote me. Just when you get an opportunity, get an adjustment. But as you're sitting there, if you expand your breath, it sends a message to your brain telling you that things are safe. But if your breathing becomes labored, it sends messages to your brain saying things are not okay, which is already in a not okay place. So the cycle gets worse. And the cycle is broken with, let's do this together, 5 deep diaphragmatic breaths. And here's how you're going to do it. You're going to breathe into your belly button, up into the heart. Surrendering the exhale. Let's do 5 together. Good. Feeling a little lightheaded and a lot more relaxed. Keep your breathing going, and I'm just going to guide you a little bit right now. Keep your breath going, closing your eyes, and I want you to stay connected to the way that your feet feel on the floor and the muscle tension in your face. On your exhale, you want to completely let them relax. Staying connected with your breath. Notice the muscles in your shoulders. Gently guide them to safety. It's okay, we're safe. Awakening your inner parent inside of you, that you're talking to your own child. It's okay, you're safe in this moment. Noticing the muscles in between your shoulders, your glutes, your pelvic floor, completely letting them exhale and relax. Understanding that there's an old wound, all tense. Can you connect to that old wound and really nurture and say, hey, everything's okay, I'm here now? Can you be the parent to yourself? As you're connecting with yourself, you can turn and listen for any guidance that your self needs right now. Just ask, what do you need right now? Listen to the guidance. And that'll be your guidance for today, until the next time you can connect with yourself and ask for guidance. This is what we do constantly in our group, and staying intentional. And the last thing that you want to do is, whatever your opinion of a higher power is, universal intelligence, I want you to ask the universe for a sign. A sign that comes in that leaves you with no doubt that you're on the right path. A sign that kind of awakens you. This is what I got from Joe Dispenza. Ask for that sign now. And you can open your eyes. So you have some homework to do, and I really look forward to keeping you connected with yourself. And I'll see you at 7 p.m. tonight, Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, and sometime, I don't know, in Australia in the afternoon. See you soon.